Taff, who have we got on parade today, buddy?
We've got a guy who I met as part of the users group for veterans at St Pancras. His name is Anthony. He's a Royal Marine, and he's going to tell us his story.
I think the first time I was diagnosed with something was in 2003. They dragged back onto the TV all the footage from the first Gulf War. That stuff starts bringing stuff back.
We've got Paul here, who is Anthony's best mate in the Royal Marines. He was a big help to Anthony when he's going through his difficulties in Surrey Street.
Did you know that blokes were coming out of the military and trying to take their lives?
Anthony, being such a stable and honest and dependable person, is one of the least people you would ever put in that category.
Because half the time people are plotting it
Yeah,
and putting on a facade. People will say, I had no idea.
I got a few texts off him which were a little bit disturbing, but he was in an unstable state. He talked about suicide. I actually phoned the police myself, but I didn't believe at that point he was a direct physical problem to anybody other than himself.
I was stood up, I had my head on the windscreen, I was going as fast as I can. Helicopter was up after me. It was a buzz. Driving at that wall fast. At the time, I was knowing I wouldn't be alive at the end of it. Looking back, having learnt about what I did, all the signs were there of what I was going to do. Nobody spotted any of the signs.
You're in the wall. Did the police nick you there and then?
Yeah, they arrested me. It was like, what speed were you going? Let me think about this. I'm still alive. Oh, I was going 30 miles an hour.
You wanted to kill yourself, but you didn't want to get a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
So what happened when he was in hospital?
So he was in hospital, but I think he was handcuffed to the bed. He'd phoned me up and told me, I can't even kill myself properly. And I made phone call after phone call after phone call to friends and to organisations. It just seemed no one was able to provide any instant help.
There were some very poorly people in the ward I was in, and what they'd been through in life was horrific. They were locking them up for their own safety. Yeah, I wanted to end my own life, and they just wanted me out in the community. I'd still failed, so I still needed to finish the job. I needed to prove I had the guts. What happened was the police had been called, came round the corner, one of them had his taser out on me, and I thought, if I don't do it now, it ain't ever going to happen. It was the biggest carving knife they had, put it up against my stomach and pushed it all the way into the handle.
Oh, that's desperation, isn't it, Anthony?
Yeah.
You just don't stick a knife in yourself. Going through his head was naturally, what do I have to do to say I'm not well?
If he's so vulnerable that he's going to do that, surely he shouldn't be allowed out.
You're obviously affected by feelings of guilt and responsibility clashing against yourself, aren't you?
He died in the ambulance, he died in the hospital while he's being operated on, and yet he says, still can't get it right.
The suicide becomes the mission.
Yeah.
I was given 20 weeks for dangerous driving. They gave me 4 weeks, which was the minimum for carrying a knife in public.
What was prison life like?
If I'd known I was going to get so much trouble getting housed when I came out, I'd have just asked them to let me stay in. I was quite happy in there. Everything I'd known up to that point in my life had gone. My kids were gone, everything.
And you've got to finish your mission, haven't you?
I'd failed twice now. I ended up living on my daughter's bedroom floor where she was renting a room in a shared house.
How long was it before coming out of prison until you got help at the Veterans Mental Health Clinic?
Almost a year, because nobody had ever told me about it.
For him to finally get some sort of support, it was just great. It's fantastic. It was getting accommodation. That's a big weight off his shoulders. And then they started talking to him.
It's obviously saved his life, hasn't it?
Yeah, clearly.
Even though I do have bad days still, quite a lot of bad days where I think about stuff, actually I know how to fight back now. And I couldn't do that before.
It is a revelation. You look back and you think, why did I spend all those years in the wilderness?
You don't even know you're in the wilderness.
We do become victims of the wars we survived, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
If there's anybody that needs help, it's a simple Google search. If all you Google is veterans mental health, the first thing that comes up is the NHS Veterans Mental Health Service. And in there, you'll find the phone numbers for whatever area in this country that you are.